Check. There we are, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bar9 stand-up comedy open mic that we're about to do right now. You guys look excited? Hell yeah. Yeah, we're going to do some jokes. We're going to work on some stuff. We're going to have a little fun, a couple drinks, some food, lots of good friends. It's a good time. We do this every Monday, and we got some stuff. It's a space to try stuff out too, so you get to do whatever you want, you know what I mean? If you guys have an idea. Oh, here comes Bronson. We love Bronson. Let's give him a good welcome. Welcome, Bronson. Woo! Yeah! See, this community down here. I was trying to display how we're a community, and you walked right up. Perfect timing. Good work. But, I know. That's down the block. Sorry. But we're going to do some comedy though, and it's fun, it's free, and you too can be a star. I stole that from Jesse Farmer, but it's valid. The sign-up sheet's over here. Anybody who wants to sign up can. Maybe if you came here with someone else, you can argue with each other amongst who's the funniest one and make them sign up. That's always a fun game. Or a relationship destroyer. You never know. Take the gamble. But also, I think it goes without saying, we got to give it up for Crystal, everybody. Give it up for her back there behind the bar. Woo! She's making dreams come true. And also, he doesn't like all the attention, but give it up for Jordan in the kitchen. We love Jordan. He's back there. He usually doesn't work Mondays, but he's the man. If it comes to cooking food here, he's going to be the best, hands down. So get some food. It's delicious. And like I said, it's a place to work on stuff, so I worked on some stuff of my own in this here joke book. I got from Caroline. Thank you. That was nice as a birthday present. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Stand-up comedy. I know you walked in, and I'm very distracted. I get distracted easily. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for me. So I was working on this bit. This isn't the first time I've done it, but I made some changes. I'm gonna try them out on you guys. Keep in mind, if you guys wanted to sign up, there's a sign-up sheet here and ready, everybody. But this is kind of an interesting idea I wrote a while back. And it all starts with, do you think that the first racist was an innovator? See, exactly, because it's a new idea. It's a weird thing to think about. You'd never heard of it. You know what I mean? Like, is this guy a radical? You know, he's a radical thinker. Is he radical, or is he a real fucking radical? You know, you're not really sure what to think of the guy. So is he a creative type, you know? Is he a free thinker? Well, racism led to slavery, so he's probably not a free thinker, if that makes any sense. But what I'm getting at is that we've all had bad ideas, and the truth is when you hear a bad idea and you have no experience with it, you don't really know. Like the first time you would be confronted with racism, you wouldn't really know what to think of it. You wouldn't know what we know now. All the social context, the way we understand things. It was a different world, and you wouldn't know. And keep in mind, you got to know, I'm not advocating for any form of racism, and I don't harbor any form of racism, but I'm just saying, like, you got to toy with the idea that if you didn't know how these things work, you wouldn't know what to think. That's kind of where the premise of this is. So, like, for instance, Roseanne, she said, I'm not prejudiced, I hate all people equally. And then she took a bunch of Ambien and fucked that all up, so maybe don't take her advice. I'm not sure. But that's what I mean. We've all made bad decisions, and we've all done things that we later realized were unacceptable. You know what I mean? So this is part of our journey as humans. So you realize they don't make sense. Like, for instance, I'm sure early man, cannibalism, was probably at least more acceptable than it is now. We'd go out on a limb and say that, Used to eat people, and now people just eat people's buttholes. I know you guys are dining. I shouldn't have said it, but the kitchen's open, everybody, too, if you guys want to get some food. The kitchen is open.
They got the burger, not the tossed salad.
There's other things, too, though, that you wouldn't know back in the day. Oh, order the tossed salad. Well done. I love that. That's good. Yeah, I know. Jake, you got to sign up. You got the fucking killers over there. Anyways, cannibalism aside, maybe you didn't also know, maybe you fucked your sister. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know. You didn't have any, way to know it was wrong. And then, it's weird, though, because I think a lot of people held on to these ideas, and the people who, fucked their sister, and the people who were racist, they wouldn't let go of it, so they just moved to Alabama, They're all down there now. So, but that's what I'm getting at, is the idea that new ideas can be dangerous and they can change the world for the worse. You know, racism, the Catholic Church, you know, Nickelback, you know, COVID-19. Oh, Nickelback. Oh, that's too soon, or that's not the right thing, but you know, it can be dangerous. Like COVID-19, for instance, swept across the world, ruined everybody's lives. And while there is no vaccine for racism, Pfizer is working on it. And luckily, they've been able to prove in trials that the vaccine is just as effective as the COVID vaccine. So, I know, touchy subject, huh? I know, exactly. But anyways, I was also doing a lot of research, and that's how I learned this little tidbit of information, that the Ku Klux Klan, while they're anti-abortion and kind of like not really pro-condom or anything, they do distribute a secret birth control, Plan B. It's called Ku Klux Klan B. It's a morning after pill, you know? So that's something, I just found that through the research. I thought it was interesting.
Morning after hood.
Which, I also would say that changed it from their old form of birth control, which was pushing your wife down the stairs. I know this guy's a racist, though. I'm not advocating for this. This guy's an asshole, you know what I mean? I hope you're gathering that that's how I feel about him, you know? But it is misleading, I'm sorry. Any racists in the house tonight? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, oh, shit. All right. Fast. No hesitation, no surrender. What's your pleasure? What's it like? What kind?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Backed right out of it, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd blackface up to it.
No.
I know. But the thing is, though, that everybody's a little bit racist. For instance, the Asian driver. I'm giving you a crash course in racism right now. You know what I mean? Watch out for the Asian driver. Or maybe the black guy at the movie theater. We've all heard of that one. Maybe the lanky ginger comedian who listens to rap music. That's me, obviously. Because this is true. I lived with a roommate of mine years ago, and his, on the racism spectrum, was maybe questionable. I didn't really know how he really felt. But I was scared. And one time I was listening to rap music, and he came over with his friend, and he goes, "This is my roommate Brandon. He thinks he's black." That's what he said. That's true. I don't have a punchline. That's what he said. So it goes all over the place. But the truth is, I think racism is just a really lazy form of evil. You know what I mean? It's like you're not even working that hard. It's easy to hate a whole group of people. It takes a certain special care and attention to look into each person's soul and realize that they have so much things about them to hate. You don't need to look at their skin color. Everybody has their own problems. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of stuff you learn, you know? But I was wondering if people formulated their racist ideas like they would when they taste food. Like with seafood, maybe you tasted like 2 kinds and you're like, I don't like it, and you judged all of your decisions off of the 2 kinds. Or maybe it's like monkey brains, you know, when they're still living, they do that, and you're just too scared, you're too shocked, you won't try it, you know? I'm not really sure. And when it comes to me, I'll eat anybody, anytime. So, if you want to know where I lie on this, what I'm getting at is I will lie with any woman of any race who likes me well enough, and, you know. Plus, what Slug said, remember Slug from Atmosphere, he said, I love all women, but most of them just can't stand me. You know what I mean? So I level with that. And it kind of comes into my heart, you know? But that's the thing, with the different races, I'm like Anthony Bourdain. I have no reservations to explore your parts unknown. So, that's the thing though, I wonder though, when racism was invented, I don't know if that's the right word also. If you invent ideas, can you invent something like that? And I started thinking about like inventions, like the Pulitzer Prize, you know, they give awards away for inventions. What would a racist, this is a joke challenge. One of my favorite things to do is a joke challenge. I give you the premise, you can come up here on stage and say the joke, you can tell me later after the show, you can tell your friends, you can just think about it to yourself, I don't really care. But it's such a setup that's so good that you can make up your own joke. So the joke challenge here would be, what are the name of your racist awards? Maybe if it was just Italian people, you'd call it the Tonys. You know what I mean? Clearly the choice that everybody would hear would be the White People's Choice Awards. So, but I'm saying that's a joke challenge. You can think of your own ideas of what you think your racist awards would be called. So, but this is where it gets weird too. Racism caught on quickly, I'm sure, as an idea. But what caught on quicker was homosexuality. But keep in mind, clearly, while racism is a learned behavior, being gay is more inherent to a person's soul or whatever, you know what I mean? It's a little different. So, and I always think that there would be gay people as long as there's been people. You know, it's pretty much, I think it's inherent to humanity, you know? So, but that brings me to one of my favorite topics to talk about, is the gay caveman. You guys, anybody think about a gay caveman? You've never thought about it? I'm talking like he lived a long time ago, like 10,000 BBC. Oh, got one laugh out of that. I was wondering how many dark souls would know what I was talking about. Anyways. But that's what I mean. How would you know the gay caveman, though? Would he have, like, the most stylish loincloth? Maybe really soft hands? You know, I'm not really sure. Maybe he has a rainbow bumper sticker? Oh, wait. Never mind. But that's the thing, too. Like, same thing with the racism and all the stuff I'm talking about. Like, you wouldn't know when it first approached your mind. So you think that, like, two gay cavemen would try to have a baby. Because they didn't know about the chromosomes and the sciences behind having children. So they might think they could, you know. Why wouldn't you think that? I don't know. Plus, in that day, there weren't a lot of, like, you know, medical texts. Or I'd say medical cave drawings. So, and if there were too, the cave doctors, they wouldn't talk about the medical cave drawings because of the hieroglyphic oath, I think it's called. And so there wasn't a lot of medical, you know, did they know about abortion, birth control, or did they push their cave sister down the cave stairs? And also on that note, I want to point out that I love the way that when you talk about cavemen, you can just put cave in front of any word and make it like in the caveman livelihood, you know, you bring it into their lexicon. For instance, cave janitor. What else do we got? Cave. Oh, I'm lost here. There's too many. There's a lot of shit here. Oh, cave bedroom set. Cave wheel of fortune, but that wouldn't be relative to if the wheel had been invented or not. You know. But that's what I mean. You put cave in front of anything. But we'll get back to
I'm sure they had a version of it though.
Version?
A version of Wheel of Fortune.
It was like just like a square-shaped wheel, though, or
Yeah.
something. Square of fortune.
Spun it around.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on from
A lot
that.
of shit here, like an
I would say though, yeah. So going back to the topic, these Bromagnon men, they wanted to have a baby, but it was not in the stars. But it gave me the idea for a movie. Remember the movie Junior with Arnold and DeVito? You guys ever seen that? Anybody?
Yeah.
What about like Cave Junior? You know, it's just like the same cast. We get them together. It's kind of like Conan the Encino Man meets the Flintstones. Like, you know, Fred and Barney fall in love. They make the bedrock. You know, stuff like that. And I just want to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger yell "Yabba Dabba Doo." You can imagine that yourself. I'm not going to impersonate it. And I almost imagine that when he would yell during climax, which is kind of weird. But what I do want to point out while I'm talking about this stuff is a lot of the stuff will be with the caveman and stuff will be with cultural appropriation. You know what I mean? It's a clear topic that we can talk about. And I would point out that the first thing that was culturally appropriated was not style or music or even like social roles or language. It was food. You know, because you would be traveling around to try to find food. What do they call that? When you were looking for food, moving all over? They had to eat nomad or what? Exactly. They were nomads. Bad joke. But anyways, so I mean, you'd be out there in the brush and you'd smell somebody aroma. Like what are they cooking, you know?
They stole it.
The first person who smelled something what the neighbors were cooking, you know, back in caveman days. You show up like you're fucking Anthony Bourdain. You get in there and eat with the tribe, you know, and everybody's sharing recipes. There's no Kitchen Confidential on this. There's lots of Anthony Bourdain stuff here. But, actually we could call it Cave Kitchen Confidential. I like that. But that's the thing, you eat together, and you sing together, and then you start fucking, you start banging. Can you imagine the first interracial? That's hot. You know what I'm saying? The first, back in caveman days, I don't know, maybe you guys are different than me. I think that sounds hot. And then the melting pot begins, you know. And here we are, we're all mutts now, and I like it that way. You know, we all kind of are just the human race. But
favorite.
So just keep that in mind too. That food is not just out here making your girlfriend happy. It's also fighting racism. So, and also guys, jot that down. Food will keep your girlfriend happy. If you don't know that, figure that out. But, so I feel another joke challenge coming on. And you'll figure it out as I go. You'll eat a taco, but you won't eat that Latina's taco. You're not interested in that German dude's bratwurst? What? You don't want to put your hands and mouth on that Black Queen's watermelons. Ooh, that's an offensive one. You like bok choy, but not ladyboy? What? No masala make you holla? None of that? Maybe you can't decide if you want a college guy named Hunter or a hunter-gatherer. Either way, no matter what you choose though, I love you. And you're beautiful. You know what I mean? We all love who we love and we are who we are. And that's why I'm glad that you guys are here doing it with me. And I'm glad that you guys did so good on this too. Because you took my racism jokes and didn't call me in for hate crime. You took the gay caveman jokes right on the chin. You even took the Anthony Bourdain jokes, even though they were medium raw.
Yeah, we hung in there.
So, but I see you guys have no prejudice, like me. All jokes are equal in my mind, you know? Thanks. I'm Brando. Have a good night. Actually, have a good cave night. Exactly. There's always time for a cave night. So that was a little longer than I thought it would be, but we're having